What a scene, a spectacle, a cavalcade of dancing lights trying to hype this crowd into a frenzy, and it's working because they know what a huge matchup is in store. Welcome everyone to Williams-Brice Stadium, home of the South Carolina Gamecocks. As we'll see, the #3 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the 12th ranked team in the land, the South Carolina Gamecocks. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. On the move from inside his 5. Rams in with the stiff arm. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. They'll run this play from the pistol. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty.
Here we go. Do the show. Check, check. Blue 27, cut. Here we go. Ready?
Grab behind the line. It's Smith. Out across the 30, steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line as they try to put something together. Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
Third down, and they'll need 5 to keep this opening drive moving. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Third down, and they'll need 5 to keep this opening drive moving. To the air, it's Sellers. Got his man quickly. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, and that's one of those where you just look at the coverage. You look at down the field, taking away all the options, making sure you don't throw that ball downfield to get the first down. The only option, check it to the running back. Now I close that space. Nice job tackling.
The Gamecocks send out the punt unit. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. Going to make sure he doesn't get a return on this one as the punt bounces out of bounds. this crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. To the air on first down. Fires to the wideout. And he just overshot his man and threw it out of bounds, incomplete.
You know, these throws at the perimeter of the field can be so tricky for a quarterback. You've got to be pinpoint accurate and have great timing. You didn't see it there from the QB.
They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. Out of the gun, the inside give. They've got the play bottled up. Fumble, it's out. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Well, that's not the start this offense wanted. Your starting running back puts it on the ground on his very first carry. This is a guy they need to have a big game. They need him to get his confidence going, and that last play isn't going to do that.
This coach wanted to be absolutely certain on a challenge. He was right. The previous play will be overturned. As the rooster crows, they are getting cocky and cockier on third down here. Back to throw, it's Sayin. Shoots it to the left. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Looking for more room. Touchdown, South Carolina. What momentum you get when the defense comes up with a play like that.
And the free safety roaming the middle of the field, and you can see just reading the quarterback's eyes. And how about the break on the football, taking a great angle to pick it off and then do some damage and make the big play for this defense to score some points.
And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll call for the fair catch here. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Wants to throw on first down. Gonna take a shot. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on first down.
I love that play call by the offensive coordinator. Your quarterback just threw a pick six. You want to pick him right back up, right? So don't handcuff him. On the very first play of the next drive, let him throw the football to try to reestablish a rhythm and reestablish some confidence. Obviously, that one falls incomplete, but they need to get this guy back into a rhythm. The only way you do that is by throwing the ball.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Back to pass, it's Sayin. Throws to the wideout. He's got an open man. There he goes. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. One of the great programs in the history of the sport, sort of built on the running game, but these days, Ohio State defined by explosive pass plays.
Yeah, and you can call yourself whatever you want. A lot of people claim different things like wide receiver U, but when you look at Ohio State, the past several years, going back 10 years probably, you could pick so many big names of guys who have been superstars, not only at the college level, but also at the NFL level.
And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Yeah, nice job by the defense. That's what you're supposed to do. As soon as they catch the football, you want to limit that yards after the catch. And he went nowhere after the catch. Nice job by the defense.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Wide receiver comes in motion. Wants to throw it. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
This definitely isn't the start they drew up. I mean, you already throw a pick six, now you get sacked. Man, they're going to have to find a way to settle this quarterback down, get something going offensively. So far, not a lot of positives to point to.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Out of the gun, the running back has it. He is denied, cannot get to the first down marker, and it's fourth down coming. The Buckeyes will punt this one away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. The kick is on its way. And the coverage team surrounding the ball. No chance for the return man to get in there on that one.
Really nice job there by the punter on that one, getting a lot of hang time and allowing the gunners to get down the field so they could play it off the bounce, down it. Nice coffin corner kick.
They are pinned deep in their own territory. They'll snap it from their own 4 to start the drive. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Well, it's a nice job by the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands quickly on that RPO. He saw something he liked, just not on the same page with his receiver.
Behind the chains now on second and long.
Here we go. Set. Check, check. Black 33 now.
Looking to throw, it's Sellers. Fires one high and deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on second down, but third down's coming up.
There's probably a lot of people wondering right now, why do they keep throwing the football when they're backed up so much? But this is actually one of the best places on the field to do that because the defense has to cover so much space, plus oftentimes they're in man coverage. So this is the time to take your shots. They took one there, took a chance deep. It wasn't open. It was incomplete. You got to be thinking on third down coming up now, they're probably going to throw it again.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. He'll try to do it himself. Finishes the run with the slide. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one.
Really nice job by the defense that time. Third down, they're expecting pass, but they also know that this quarterback is dangerous when he wants to scramble. And it was almost as if they were expecting that. They were able to get to him, get him down. It now sets up fourth down. And you don't see the defense sprinting off the field just yet, guys. They're not sure. With this guy's scrambling ability, they may try to go for this.
And the Gamecocks will line up to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. First snap of this drive comes from their own 44. Quarterback run is part of their game plan.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll send the back in motion. Looking for a man. It's Sayin. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football. Now they face 3rd down.
We're already in the first quarter, but already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this QB. He's already been sacked. He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job up front of protecting this guy, or it's going to be difficult to put up points.
It's as if you're engulfed in a space odyssey. Williams-Brice alive on 3rd down. The snap sets up the throw. Get it out to the supersonic guy. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
This drive will open from the 15. Running to the left. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And when you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Now the play fake. Unloads to the wideout. And they can't make the connection.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over it from the moment the ball left his hand.
The Gamecocks are in a mess here on 3rd and a mile. Quarterback running on the draw. He'll be brought down at about the 18-yard line. Not enough to move the sticks.
Picks up 6. Now, a 4th down.
And the Gamecocks will send out the punt unit.
In punt formation to kick it away.
Kick is in the air. He'll field the punt and try to get some yardage. He tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36.
Will take over. 1st and 10.
They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. The Buckeyes want to move quickly. To the air, it's Sayin. Bringing the heat. Makes the grab. And he steps out of bounds, and that's going to do it for the first quarter.
South Carolina, 7. Ohio State, 0.
So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. Wants to go up top on first down. He's going for a big play downfield. And he makes the catch inside the 10. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be first and goal.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
They've hit him with back-to-back chunk plays. Now it's first and goal. Tight end now in motion. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Fitted in the window for the score.
And they cap off the drive with a touchdown, throwing the football. In the last play, they got the explosive. They get right back to the line of scrimmage and dial up another one. Great work by the quarterback and his target being on the same page. These two plays, throwing the football, man, it doesn't get any better than that.
He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. And they did tack on that extra point without any adventure. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they capped the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. Single back formation, and they give it to him. These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34.
You know, with defense, it's this pick or poison game, right? Like, I got to play a little bit soft and make them run the football, but when I do that, I give the running back space, and right there you can tell he takes advantage of it.
And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much, got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
Trying to pick it up on the ground. The Gamecocks will move the sticks.
It was so important this offense was able to find a way to get in the rhythm, and the running game is now helping that. 2 straight punts on their previous 2 drives. This drive, though, they're having a little bit more success. Big reason why is this running back. He's been able to find some creases to run through, and it's really helping out this offense.
Looking downfield, it's Sellers. Swings it out to the flat. Runs through the tackle. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
What's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out on the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
The give on the option. There he goes. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the ground, and he gets north fast.
Quarterback on the keeper. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I don't think the quarterback made the right read on that play. I know they're asking a lot of this QB. He's got a lot to focus on with the pass game and all the different types of runs that they have in their playbook. But on that play there, that pre-snap look told me to hand it off.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. From the gun. Give on the inside. This will be the 7th play of the drive, and they need to convert 3rd and 6. Running back searching for a hole. And there were some collisions in there, and the D finally stops him short of the marker.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
They've decided to try to go for the field goal here. No good. And here in the 2nd quarter, missed field goal leaves us tied, guys. Opening play of this drive comes from the 34. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up 1 to the 35.
And you want to run the football. I mean, that's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. They go to the ground. At the 45, on its way. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44.
And busting big runs like this, we always talk about the running backs, but it's the big boys up front paving their lanes, those receivers gluing on those DBs that make these plays really go for big yardage.
And how about those receivers? Not just the glamour of catching passes, but doing some dirty work, too.
No doubt. When they get on those guys in the 2nd level and get on those DBs, that's when you break those big, long runs.
And the Buckeyes, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Leaves it with the back. Oh, a lot of space. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
How nice is it in an offense when you can generate explosive plays by running the football? You got to force feed this guy, man. He is an absolute game changer.
The Buckeyes, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. The give out of the gun. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. Saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll move the wide receiver. Give to the running back. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the 1st half. Down, red zone play, crowd alive. Off the bootleg, wants to throw it. Firing to the right, complete. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. He'll bring it out. It's Clark. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Back to throw, it's Sellers. Lofts one high and deep. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. He'll go down right there, but what a big play to come up with that turnover.
Man, these defenders practice this all week long. It's locating the football with your eyes. Great job being in position, but also, how about getting your head around and locating the ball in the air so you can go up, pick it off for the defense.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Catch and stride inside the 15. They get him down, but this offense is set up 1st and goal from the 9.
And how about the big strike down the field? I love when offenses take shots down the field, try to make big plays. Now they're set up in the red zone.
The Buckeyes will try to put one on the board on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. Now it's 2nd and goal. He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
On 3rd and goal, you can't hear yourself thinking here. Go straight ahead. Several defenders get an assist on that tackle.
Decision time right here. I like going for it. You're playing on the road. You have an opportunity to take the crowd out of it a little bit here. Why not just line up quickly and just try to run the ball?
Yeah, stay aggressive. I mean, you want to shut these people up. You want to quiet them down, but field goals don't do that very often. Try to go for the touchdown right here.
And they're going to head out to line up for a field goal. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in a sea of noise. And he curls that thing just inside the left upright. And now the lead is even bigger. So they get the field goal, now about to kick it away, and you get a stop here, and you go to halftime feeling really good about things. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. We'll see them really hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the first half. Looking to throw, it's Sellers. Quick completion on the out. They corral him out of bounds. Mark it down at the 38, and this offense might have something going.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that slot receiver, he may not be the biggest receiver in the world, but he is shifty, and he runs really good routes. You saw it on that play.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Looking to throw on 1st down. It's caught. At midfield, he's got room. Knocked out of bounds at the 46 after the good pickup on that one.
Running backs nowadays, they are wide receivers. I mean, you got to feature them in the pass game. Why? Because you get matchups on linebackers like this. Great job getting the football near the line of scrimmage. Bam, break a tackle, make something happen, get 10-plus yards.
They'll snap it from the 47 on 1st down. Looking to throw on 1st down. Dumps it off in the flats. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Back to throw, time running short in the half. Fires to the wideout. Complete to the right. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another 1st down. Sends it back in motion. And they got to the line expeditiously, spiked it, and stopped the clock.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Might be changing the route. Back to pass, it's Sellers. Throws to the wideout. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab. Quick snap and a spike to stop the clock.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd.
And with just a few seconds remaining here in the first half, they'll try to kick a field goal. And he'll boot one from the right hash. He ought to be able to navigate that angle from this distance. The defense uses their 2nd timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. And as the first half draws near to a close, here comes the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this distance makes that angle not quite so severe. right down the boulevard. It's good. So that's going to do it here in the first half. Stay tuned for the halftime break. And the Gamecocks will kick it off to start the second half. Fielded in the end zone, it's Graham. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here.
And watch the offensive line here. They all block and run. Because they're blocking run, the quarterback decides, oh, I got a favorable matchup. He dumps it out to the right, makes the right read, gets a nice positive gain.
It's a running room. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down.
In halftime in this locker room, there was a lot of positive things to talk about. You got the lead, but you know what else will be positive, Palmer? Get the running game going early in this second half.
You're absolutely right here, and I think this coaching staff is going to try to put this game on the offensive line a little bit. Let these guys take this thing over, be physical, and push this defense around.
The offense lines up at the 41 with a 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Going over the top. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, the defense hasn't been able to stop this guy all game long, so the offense is going to keep trying to take shots. They thought they had the matchup they wanted, but they're going to force this defense to prove they can stop him. The defense finally came up with a play.
Well, will they dial up on second and a long way to go? He's not afraid to go deep. Hits him in stride inside the 10. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Ohio State. That's his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. The defense has no clue how to respond right now.
No, and the defense has had absolutely no answer. He's been on the money. He's been on fire, making the right decisions and just carving this defense up.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll leave it with him. Fights off the defender. Surges across the 30, out to the 32, a 6-yard run.
Yeah, and it's a nice decision by the quarterback when you run these RPOs. Man, if you can give it to him and you can get such positive yards like that, continue to do it. Make that defense react a different way, then I'll throw the football.
He tries to take the top off. And they couldn't connect on the deep shot. Let's see if things get worse. There's a flag on the field. Which way is this going to go?
You don't see offensive pass interference called very often, so usually you know it's pretty blatant. It's pretty obvious. It's a severe push-off or, you know, obviously trying to break up a play so you don't give up a pick, but clear offensive pass interference on that play.
Looking for a man. It's Sellers. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Powers through. A sweet return after the pick, and they'll have it at the 43.
And if you're the quarterback, you might want to stop throwing that guy's way. I mean, you knew coming into this game, David, he's one of the best corners in the entire country. He's already been picked off twice now. He is literally living in this quarterback's head rent-free.
And so nice to have a guy like this that can cut off half the field, because now you can put resources elsewhere. He's proven if you try me, bad things are going to happen.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Going for the big play. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Once he got some room, it was over. And with the way he's throwing it right now, there are some big names at the top of that record list. J.T. Barrett, Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields might be getting ready to move them down a notch.
And moving those guys down, that's a day. That's the day you dream about. That's the day where the ball's barely touching the ground, you're in a zone, and everything is going your way.
And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Fair catch called for and made. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. He gets it past the 30, and they'll get him out of bounds at the 32.
The biggest rule change for me, if I could make one in all of college football, would be illegal man downfield. And when they run these RPO plays and those linemen start to creep further and further down the field, I would love for the refs to call those more often. It's a cheating play, basically, running these RPOs. So hard to stop. Nice execution by the offense, but probably cheating too.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10.
Get set.
The give to the back. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you could tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
Looking to the big tight end. And he throws another interception, his 3rd of the night. He'll try to take it back. Touchdown, Ohio State. What a play. Not only the interception, but the great return for the score.
Awesome job by the linebacker there in coverage, reading the quarterback's eyes, spying the QB, knowing where that ball was going to get thrown, and then the ball skills just to pluck it out of the air and take it back for a touchdown. Awesome work.
And he makes the extra point. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it.
South Carolina, 10.
He'll bring it out. It's Clark. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, that they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. To throw, it's Sellers. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
They think there's room to run to the right here. Stacked up after gaining a couple to the 23.
Yeah, and listen, offensively, you run the RPOs, you just want positive yards, make the right read the guy. If he wants to drop back a little bit, hand it off, get some positive yards, go on to the next play.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
This has been a frustrating day, and I'm not sure it's going to get any better. You're already down huge. Listen, this offense can't protect this quarterback. They don't do anything right now. This defense has had their number all game long.
That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt.
Offense will take over. 1st and 10.
So the first play of the drive, starting here from the 45. They'll give it to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. And maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays, and you better change your looks up to try and get a takeaway to get back in this game.
Now on 1st down from the 43-yard line. Use the play fake, now to throw. Got his man downfield. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Buckeyes!
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they close the deal from 43 yards out with a touchdown pass. Now to make sure this kickoff team covers properly to pay off that last scoring drive. He'll bring it out. It's Clark. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. He leaves it with his back. Gets it out to the 20 after a pickup of 4.
Tackle is made at the 20-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
After the productive 1st down play, it's 2nd and 6. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a 1st down.
And you know what? The best 3rd down offenses don't get the 3rd down. Really good job by the offense running the football. You could tell the defense got caught a little bit off guard, got a nice gain, popped one, got a 1st down. Who needs 3rd downs if you can just pound it down their throat on 2nd down?
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. He's stopped in the backfield again, and this just hasn't been his night. It's been more like a nightmare. The Gamecocks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Looking to throw, it's Sellers. Got his man on the right. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Again, this is a running back that can hurt you running it between the tackles, and he's dangerous out in space. They like to throw it to him out on the perimeter as he picks up a couple of yards there.
Wow, this offense is doing nothing. They've already punted 4 times and staring at the possibility of a 5th. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Pulls it in, it's Brown. They make the stop just across the 30 at the 31. It's 4th down. And the Gamecocks will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the 5th kick of the night. He'll make the fair catch at the 13, and they will have less than favorable field position here. They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. Motion from the wide receiver. On the run, it's Jackson. Just wanted to find a little space to run and ekes out some to get it up to the 21. And the Buckeyes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. And you want to talk about gang tackling. Everybody on the defense run to the ball.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
The Buckeyes come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. On 3rd and short, they'll ride the running back here. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Big 3rd down conversion, getting the ball to your running back, and he does the rest. This guy, I think, will get a lot more touches.
And you want to know why he's on the field on 3rd down? Because he can block, he can catch the ball, and you can also hand it off to him, and he can go find the sticks and keep drives alive. What a weapon.
Leaves it with the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Picks up the 1st down, still moving. Brought down at the 46, but he got 10 on the play.
That is just demoralizing if you're on defense, right? You're down in the game. It's the 4th quarter. You know you need to get a stop, and you know they're going to run the ball, but you can't do anything about it.
The Buckeyes look to keep this drive humming. One running back in the backfield, and he has it. They'll wrestle him down just short of the 1st down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
The give to the back. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, and if this offense can keep that rolling, if they can keep the physical ground game and continue to add these plays up as they go along, long drives, eat the clock with the lead, this coach will be ecstatic.
And the Buckeyes getting set on 1st and 10.
Here we go, set.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Smith. Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the first down.
Offenses nowadays know one speed. Be aggressive. Go after it. Even if you got a lead, you see a lot of offenses do this and take shots and keep making big plays down the field. I like it. Keep it up.
The Buckeyes come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. On the move. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity.
You know, this offensive line, they just got to hold their blocks a little bit longer. This offense likes to run their quarterback on design plays. And if you can just give him a little crease, he can take it the distance, but they couldn't get it done there.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Trying to get the edge on the right. Smashes through the tackle. Goes out of bounds on the play, and he's got him set up 1st and goal.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep running the football. Everything is going according to plan right now. They've been able to stay on the field. They put some nice plays together back to back to back, and they're bleeding the clock. This is exactly what you practice for situations like this. Just keep doing what you're doing.
The Buckeyes have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
Ready to try the point after.
Is on for the extra point.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category.
That makes the score Ohio State 52, South Carolina.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown.
Kick this one away.
No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Leaves it with the running back. Surges across the 30, out to the 32, a 6-yard run.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop. You move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs close to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
We've seen a ton of this tonight. They just keep giving him the ball, and he keeps running into brick walls. Not much running room again. The Gamecocks come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Dropping back, it's Sellers. Quickly to the tight end. Really nice job there to pick up the 1st down and get it to their own 41.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
Looking downfield on 1st down. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Couldn't hang on to that one. This defense has already picked off 3 passes, almost had the 4th. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, talking to the coaching staff coming into tonight, they thought they had to have success throwing the football if they were going to win this game. And one of the biggest reasons why I'd say they're losing right now is because this guy still hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. The defense has been ready for the deep shots. They're ready yet again here late in the game. Nice job forcing that incompletion.
They've got him now. He almost picked up that 1st down on the screen.
Well, Well, a nice gainer on that running back screen. How about the offensive line getting downfield and getting blocks to really help out the back, find some space to go to work?
And the Gamecocks are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They convert on 3rd down as he gets it to the 46-yard line.
That is how it's done on 3rd down and short. No doubt about it. An easy hole to get through and clearly get the 1st down.
If you really want to simplify football, the low man wins. That time the offense got the better of the D. Easily picked that up.
After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1. The Gamecocks with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Motion from the wideout. A run for the quarterback. Pass the sticks, and he may get more. And the Gamecocks have a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Got it in the middle. It's Harbor. And he's brought down after a nice gain. The Gamecocks come to the line in the hurry-up.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game. But trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum.
Got some room, entered to the goal line. I'm sorry you're unlikely to win the day, but here's a fabulous party trick. A late touchdown.
And this has been a rough day for this offense, and finally, some good things to happen. Build some momentum maybe for the future. You know, that's the way the coaches spin it when you're getting beat up and you're getting destroyed. Like, let's find something for the future. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep working. This team's done that and put some points on the board, so it's not all bad.
Out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. The give, and tick, 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 tick. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
The inside handoff. He's loose. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's 1st down.
And I think as a running back, if you're this guy, you're licking your chops right now. This is what you want, right? You've got a big lead in the 4th quarter, and you're smiling because you know you are going to get the rock. They are going to force feed you the football to try and ice this game, and he's paying him off right now. That's a really nice run.
Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
In situations like this, offensively, when you've got the lead in the 4th quarter, when you got to run the ball, you go back to the runs that you have the most confidence in, that you can execute in your sleep, and they do it right there, ripping off 7 yards.
That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Well, the offense is running towards the open grass, right? They're going toss play to the field, but way too much penetration defensively, forcing that tackle for loss.
This defense will try to force a 4th down on 3rd and short from the 45. Rides to back and leaves it. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. And the Buckeyes decide to punt it away. And they'll let that one go, and it'll roll out of bounds. To do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. Scanning the field, it's Sellers. A deep throw as the clock winds down. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. And the Gamecocks have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Here's a throw downfield late. And he takes it in the end zone for a touchdown and a little window dressing here at the end of the game. Safe to say the offense could have used a few more plays like that earlier in the game.
Too little, too late. At least you got something going. You got some kind of rhythm. The offense put some points up. But, man, if they had started a little bit better, they might have had a chance to be a little bit more in this ballgame.
And the extra point splits the uprights. Now to make sure this kickoff team covers it well tonight and give back that last score. He makes the fair catch deep in his own end, and I get the criticism, but man, he probably wanted to at least save a few yards in field position. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. They can stop the clock a couple more times, and they need to get it back fast, down 2 possessions as the clock keeps winding down. I know both of these teams were ranked, guys, but it really seemed as if they weren't on the same level in this game.
I think that was a pretty good statement game for these guys. I mean, you're ranked higher, you're more talented. A lot of people point to this game, possible upset, 2 really good teams. Jesse, they made it clear. There's only one really good team. It was them. They were the favorite, and they just made a point of it.
You're right. Not all ranked teams are created equal. One of these teams is a college football playoff contender. The other simply is not, and that demonstrated itself today. The higher-ranked team is a team with national championship aspirations. They've got so much talent. They look good today.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.